What is going on, everybody? On here, and we've done a couple of videos in a row on Final Fantasy, and the English collector boxes are back. Going nuts over $1,200. The Japanese ones are over $750 now. My favorite item right now is probably the pre-release kits because of the promos. They're still sitting at $71. They're probably $200 to $300 items in the next month or two. But I want to get back to Pokemon and spend some time on Black Bolt and White Flare. And this is the most head-scratching set I've seen in a long time. And the reason I say that is, we're less than 4 weeks or about 4 weeks away from release. And I don't personally have a feeling on it. 151 came and you kind of looked at the cards and the set and you're like, you know what, this is going to be a banger. Prismatic came, and it's like, you know what, this set's going to crush it. I have no idea what to think about this set. And part of the reason I say that is, if you look at the specialty sets, just throw Shrouded Fable, the best buy of any Pokemon in product right now. Just throw that out the window as an outlier, right? So go figure. The item that's just slightly above MSRP is the outlier, which is hilarious. All of the packs of, Crown Zenith, 151, Paldean Fates, Prismatic, they're all sitting right between, $10 and $13. And they go back and forth, with reprints and whatnot. And I mean, obviously there's no reprints for Crown Zenith. We just got a big one for 151 with the Blooming Waters. And, this is kind of the trough there. Same with Prismatic. Kind of the trough here with some ETBs and the Costco bundle. But if we look at Black and White, first of all, not a huge fan of the era. And we'll get into the singles in a second, but what I like to do is I like to look at the value of the cards in Japanese and try to impute what the value is in English. And this is a very, very difficult one to do because the two most expensive cards, we don't know what the pull rates are going to be. You have the Zekrom and the Reshiram. You can crucify me for pronunciation, whatever, in the all white and all black card. But I don't know if it's an SIR pull rate, if it's not. And then with the Japanese printing, a lot of times it's a little bit of pay to play. So you don't really know what it's going to translate to in English. And then, after that, you have a couple cards that are probably going to be in the $100 range, $70, $80 range. But you look at the illustration rares, and yeah, there's going to be a ton, right? There's 840, 850 cards in the set. But I look at the illustration rares a lot like I look at the Baby Shinies and Paldean Fates. They're going to be $1, $2, $3 for maybe $5 for the good ones. By good, I mean playable. But if you're getting one a pack, every 2 packs, every 3 packs, it doesn't really fucking matter. So when I look at this set, I see the ETB prices 4 weeks out at $132 for black and $123 for white. And I don't know what to think. We're going to run our sale. And, some of the ancillary products may be priced a little bit higher. But I'm going to sell my Black Bolt ETBs and my White Flare ETBs at $60 per. And every person in premium is going to get at least 2 of them. We may get a few more. I don't know. For the most part, the allocations are out. My largest allocation I still don't have. I'm not quite sure why. And then there's 2, small ones that I don't have yet. And, Alliance is starting to get their feet back underneath them. And, I give those guys all the props in the world for going through what they went through and getting their shit together. Because quite honestly, they've been awesome to us. But I don't know if this set's going to be a $60 ETB at release, an $80 ETB, or a $130 ETB. And let's look at the cards very quickly. And we can do this. Let's see. So if we look at high to low, These are the two cards right here. These cards in English would be $500 cards. No different than, what I said with the Mewtwo for Destined Rivals. It's a $400 card all day long. And that's where it's been sitting. And look, it spiked down a little bit. And now it's getting back to $400. It's where it should be. These two cards, again, I don't know the rarity because it's a new rarity. So if these are harder to pull than SIRs, they could be $600, $700 cards in English. If they're easier, they could be $200 or $300. But then you have the regular, the SIR or SAR in Japanese. It's $150, $150. These are $300 cards. But you have two different products, so it's not like I can open one ETB and I can pull both of these. If I open white, I'm going to get the Reshiram. If I open black, I'm going to get the Zekrom. And that's it. So the odds of getting a banger pull, it's not great. So I tend to think, and I'm not trying to be negative, but I think the set's going to be a little bit on the downside. And I only say that because I don't know how to read the rarity of the two chase cards. Now, if these chase cards end up being $1,000 each and the rest of the cards are, $50, the ETVs are still going to be, 120, 150. Yeah, I should say 100, 120 is probably more realistic. But I just don't know. What's interesting is there's been a ton of this product available at Walmart, Target, where I don't know if they have the bot controls in place or not, but a lot of folks in our Discord have had a lot of luck getting them, and Walmart has a limit of 12. So we've had people that have gotten, a couple hundred of these on the ETB, the booster bundle, etc., which is good, but it's also a little scary. If you buy them and you're trying to flip them, you're probably going to get smoked. And that's why I tend to think these are probably going to be $70 to $80 ETBs at release. But, again, you look at the price and the value of the cards in the pack, and I personally, I don't quite see it. And the reason I don't see it is I don't know what the rarity of these two cards is going to be. I don't know what the pull rates are going to be. These are brand new. If they are the showcase card or the headliner card, as we call the new Final Fantasy deal, if the pull rate's 1 in 1,000 packs, 1 in 1,500 packs, that's great. If it's 1 in 300 packs, these ETBs are going to be shitty. And it kind of is what it is. So anyway, just wanted to talk through this. A couple of people have asked me my thoughts, and quite honestly, I haven't done a whole lot of work on it because it's still a little bit too early. But the Hydreigon could be $100 card. $100 card here. We all know that the trainer cards don't translate well from Japanese to English. So even if it's $110 in Japanese or $82 in Japanese, it's going to be a $25 card in English. They just don't translate very well. So then you get down here outside of the headliners and the Reshiram and Zekrom SIR, and now you're talking about 2-digit numbers. So that it's not great, and these aren't Pokemon that set the world on fire. So anyway, guys, hopefully this was helpful. I would not overextend on the set at all. But again, with Final Fantasy and Magic going nuts, I do not see the Pokemon Company burning this thing to the ground by printing too much or by making shitty sets. They would just be idiotic, and they are one of the most brilliant companies in the history of the world. So anyway, guys, like the video, subscribe to the channel, join the Discord, and we will talk soon. Have a great night.